Welcome, fellow plant enthusiasts. I'm Steven from Steve's Propagation Corner, and I'm thrilled to bring you another exciting episode of The Foliage Files. In this series, we dive deep into the secrets of plant life, learn practical tips for caring and nurturing our own green companions, and explore the incredible diversity of plant species from around the globe. Today, I've gathered a comprehensive list of 7 common watering myths for houseplants. These myths have misled many plant lovers, causing unnecessary mistakes and leading to bad habits. But fear not, I'm here to dispel these myths, saving you the trouble and ensuring your plants thrive. Growing indoor plants can indeed be easy if we take the time to research our specific plant species and follow some basic rules. So, let's steer clear of the internet hype, the tempting promises of quick fixes, and instead embrace the wisdom of experienced gardeners who know the secret lies in simplicity. So, get ready to embark on a journey of myth busting and unraveling the mysteries of proper watering techniques for your beloved houseplants. Let's separate fact from fiction, and together, we'll ensure our green companions receive the hydration they need to flourish. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Once upon a time, there was a prevalent myth among plant enthusiasts that only distilled water should be used for watering houseplants. They believed that tap water contained harmful minerals that could damage their beloved green companions. However, let me debunk this myth and reveal the truth. In reality, distilled water and reverse osmosis water, which are pure and devoid of minerals, can be detrimental to many houseplants. Most plants actually thrive when they receive water from the tap. However, there is one caveat to keep in mind. If your tap water has high alkalinity, also known as hard water, it can be harmful to some plants. But worry not, there are solutions. You can treat the water or mix it with rainwater, distilled water, or reverse osmosis water to reduce the alkalinity and make it suitable for your plant's needs. Another consideration is the sodium content in your tap water. If the sodium levels exceed 50 parts per million, it may be due to natural sodium present or sodium chloride added by a water softener. To determine the natural sodium level, you can inquire with your municipal water service. If your water is naturally high in sodium, diluting it as mentioned earlier for high alkalinity can be a helpful approach. In homes with water softeners, there's a useful tip to keep in mind. The cold water taps in the kitchen and all outdoor taps should bypass the water softener. These taps provide water that is safe for watering plants. On the other hand, it's advisable to avoid using other taps in your house for this purpose. By understanding the truth behind this myth, you can confidently water your houseplants without the need for expensive distilled water. Embrace the use of tap water, making necessary adjustments if your water is hard or contains high levels of sodium. Remember, as you embark on your watering journey, dispelling common myths like this one will empower you to nurture your plants with the care and attention they deserve. Stay tuned as we delve into more watering myths and uncover the secrets to successful plant care. Many plant enthusiasts have been led to believe that the tap water they use for watering their plants is riddled with harmful chlorine. But let me assure you, this myth has no basis in reality. Allow me to shed light on the facts. In actuality, municipalities treat their drinking water with either chlorine or chloramine. While it's true that chlorine is used in water treatment, it's important to note that it's actually an essential nutrient for plants. Yes, you heard that right. Plants require a small amount of chlorine for their healthy growth. Extensive scientific research has revealed that chlorine or chloramine levels above 150 parts per million can be toxic to plants. However, the World Health Organization suggests that drinking water should contain no more than 5 parts per million of chlorine, and most tap water falls well below this level. Therefore, neither chlorine nor chloramine pose any significant issue for our beloved houseplants. So, fear not when it comes to using tap water for your plant watering needs. The chlorine content in your tap water is typically well within safe and beneficial levels for your green companions. Feel free to give them a refreshing drink without worry. As we unravel this myth, it's important to rely on scientific evidence and trusted organizations to guide our plant care practices. By dispelling misconceptions, we can provide our plants with the best possible care, ensuring their health and vitality. Some people believe that it's necessary to let tap water sit out to degas oxygen or allow the chlorine to dissipate before using it for their plants. However, let me assure you that neither of these practices is required. Let's dive into the facts. While it is indeed a good idea to use water that is at room temperature for your plants, the notion of degassing oxygen is not a concern. Oxygen is naturally present in water and will not cause any harm to your plants. There is no need to let tap water sit out for extended periods of time to remove oxygen. Similarly, the belief that chlorine needs to dissipate before using tap water is also a myth. As mentioned earlier, tap water typically contains chlorine or chloramine, both of which are safe for plants in the recommended levels. There is no benefit to letting tap water sit for prolonged periods of time to disperse chlorine. Instead, a simple guideline to follow is to allow cold tap water to sit for a few minutes to reach room temperature. This short waiting period allows the water to warm up slightly, making it more comfortable for your plants. However, there is no additional benefit gained from letting the water sit longer than that. By understanding these facts, you can save yourself the time and effort of waiting for tap water to degas or disperse chlorine. Provide your plants with room temperature water and watch them thrive. You may have come across recommendations suggesting that watering your houseplants on a fixed weekly schedule is the way to go. However, let me reveal the truth. This is simply bad advice. Let's uncover why and explore a better approach to watering. For novice gardeners or those unfamiliar with plant growth, the appeal of a set watering schedule is understandable. It offers a clear rule to follow, providing a sense of structure. However, the problem lies in the fact that this rule almost never works. Why? Because the watering needs of plants are not dictated by a fixed schedule. When it comes to watering, the key is to assess the soil moisture and water accordingly. The drying process of the soil depends on various factors, including the size of the pot, the size of the plant, temperature, humidity, and the amount of light the plant receives. Each plant in every home is unique, with its own watering requirements. So, instead of relying on a rigid schedule, here's a practical approach. Stick your finger into the potting soil. If it feels dry to the touch, it's time to water. If it's still moist, hold off on watering. This simple method allows you to gauge the actual moisture level in the soil and provide water only when necessary. With time and experience, you'll become more comfortable with this technique and can make small adjustments based on the specific needs of your plants. Some plants may prefer slightly drier soil before watering, while others may require more frequent moisture. By tuning into your plant's individual needs, you can establish a customized watering routine. By dispelling the myth of a fixed watering schedule, we empower ourselves to become responsive and attentive caretakers. Understanding the factors that influence soil drying and assessing the moisture level through simple techniques like using our fingers, we can provide our plants with the appropriate care they deserve. It is often believed that when a plant's leaves begin to wilt, it's a clear sign that the plant is not receiving enough water. However, let me shed light on the reality. Wilting leaves can be caused by both underwatering and overwatering, making it a more complex issue to diagnose. Let's delve deeper into the reasons behind wilting leaves. When a plant receives excessive amounts of water, it can lead to a condition called root rot. Root rot occurs when the roots are constantly saturated, causing them to decay. As a result, the damaged roots are unable to absorb water effectively, leading to wilting leaves. Therefore, it's crucial to recognize that wilting leaves indicate a problem, but they don't specifically identify whether it's due to too much water or too little water. In essence, wilting leaves serve as a signal that something is amiss. The underlying issue could be unrelated to watering, or it could indeed be a watering-related problem. This highlights the importance of considering other factors and conducting a thorough assessment of the plant's overall health. To accurately determine the cause of wilting leaves, it's crucial to examine various aspects of plant care. such as lighting conditions, temperature, humidity levels, soil quality, and even potential pest infestations. By evaluating these factors alongside the plant's watering routine, you can pinpoint the root cause of the wilting and take appropriate action. Remember, it's essential to strike a balance in watering, ensuring that your plants receive adequate moisture without being waterlogged. Monitoring the soil moisture, checking for signs of root rot, and adjusting your watering practices accordingly will help maintain a healthy plant. Common advice suggests that succulents require less water compared to other houseplants. However, it's important to clarify the true meaning behind this guidance. Let's shed light on the correct approach to watering succulents for their optimal health. When we say succulents should be watered less, it does not mean you should only provide a small amount of water during each watering session. Instead, it implies that you should water them less frequently, allowing the soil to dry out between waterings. This is a key aspect of succulent care. Succulents thrive in well-draining soil. To achieve this, it's recommended to incorporate more grit or sand into their potting mix. This promotes better drainage, preventing excess water from accumulating around the roots, which can lead to root rot and other issues. When it comes time to water your succulents, it's essential to follow a thorough watering approach. Give them a good soak, ensuring that water penetrates the soil and reaches the roots. However, once you've watered, it's important to allow the soil to dry out completely before watering again. During the summer months, when succulents are exposed to ample sunlight, the drying period between waterings may be shorter. The increased heat and light encourage faster evaporation of moisture from the soil. On the other hand, during the winter months when succulents may receive less light indoors, it's advisable to extend the dry period between waterings. By understanding the specific watering needs of succulents and adapting your routine accordingly, you can provide these fascinating plants with the ideal growing conditions they require. As we dispel this myth, let's embrace the importance of well-draining soil, thorough watering, and allowing for proper drying periods. With this knowledge, you can cultivate healthy and vibrant succulents that flourish in your care. As we approach the final myth in our exploration of watering practices, let's examine the belief that bottom watering is better than top watering. While bottom watering offers certain advantages, it's important to consider both the benefits and drawbacks of this technique. One advantage of bottom watering is that it allows the soil to do the work. By watering your plants from the bottom, you can ensure that excess water doesn't accumulate at the bottom of the pot. This helps prevent overwatering, as the plant will only absorb the necessary amount of moisture. Additionally, if you allow the soil to drip for a few extra minutes after removing it from the water source, you can gauge whether the soil has reached the appropriate moisture level. Another benefit of bottom watering is that it helps deter pests. By keeping the top layer of soil dry, you can create an inhospitable environment for insects, fungi, and other pests. These organisms are attracted to moist conditions and thrive in a humid environment. Bottom watering helps maintain a drier topsoil, reducing the likelihood of pest infestations. Despite its advantages, bottom watering does have its drawbacks. One significant disadvantage is that it doesn't effectively remove salt from the soil. When you water your plant from the top, the excess water not only hydrates the plant, but also flushes out any leftover salt from fertilizers. However, with bottom watering, these salts tend to accumulate and aren't adequately drained. To address this, it's advisable to combine both top watering and bottom watering methods. This allows you to provide sufficient hydration while also ensuring the cleaning of the plant's growing environment. Another downside of bottom watering is the potential lack of control over moisture levels. When you water from the bottom, the soil absorbs as much moisture as it can hold. While this is suitable for plants grown in the appropriate soil mix, it can lead to overwatering if the soil is not tailored to the specific plant's needs. Top watering offers greater control as you can directly observe and adjust the amount of moisture applied to the soil. In conclusion, understanding the difference between top watering and bottom watering is crucial for successful plant care. Bottom watering can be advantageous, particularly when combined with appropriate soil and the goal of pest prevention. However, it's essential to incorporate top watering as well to ensure proper removal of salts and maintain control over moisture levels. By employing a balanced approach to watering, you provide your plants with a clean and well-hydrated growing environment, setting the stage for their healthy development and growth. Well, you made it to the end. Thank you for joining me on this journey through these 7 houseplant watering myths. I hope this video has been both informative and insightful, shedding light on common misconceptions about watering practices. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more awesome gardening tips and tricks. And if you really loved it and want to show some extra support, consider leaving a little something in the tip jar using the super thanks feature below. Your support helps me keep making these videos and sharing my love of plants with you all. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Did you find this video helpful? Do you have any questions or tips you'd like to share? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your feedback and love learning from my fellow plant enthusiasts. Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Keep growing and keep thriving. See you in the next video.